Good morning and welcome to Entrepreneurs Live Show. I'm David Orfling, your host, and today we're going to blow your mind. We've got a lady with us that's been in one of the biggest companies and now doing her own business. She's a phenomenal woman in business, a phenomenal leader, and somebody that you really want to pay attention to. Please welcome Madelaine Gomes to the show. Madelaine, welcome to the show.
Thank you, David. I feel honored to be here.
Man, it's an absolute honor to have you here. And Madelaine, listening to your story over the weekend and how you were sharing your passion with people, I'm blown away. So Madelaine, I want to give the floor to you and I want you to introduce yourself. Who is Madelaine? Where do you come from? What are you doing at the moment?
David, I originally come from Durban. I had my own business in Durban, a top 10 company in Durban, developing people for major transport and distribution companies in Durban, which led to the success of me taking workforces over on my books and manage them on behalf of the clients. I've been developing people since 1994, before it became fashion. I didn't even know what self-development was at that stage. I was just doing what came to my heart when I saw people sitting next to the road that were unemployed. And I just started a new company and I thought I'm going to do executive placements because my actual basic business training came from Xerox. And then it took a turn and I started to do drivers, farm workers, general laborers, and I partnered with major companies, and which eventually led to taking their workforces over. So I had a couple of traumatic experiences while I ran a business. So typical one of those people that my business life was absolutely amazing and successful. And, the image was like, wow, we in the newspaper all the time, but my heart was broken in my personal life because I lost my brother, I lost my husband, I lost my father during that time. And then my business got targeted by a crime syndicate. And eventually I had to give up and I had to move for the safety of my son and I. And we went into sort of hiding for the safety of ourselves. And that sent me into 7 years of the dark night of my soul. But during that time, which I thought then was the darkest time of my life, and I wasn't sure if I'm going to get through it, get to the other side or not, I had many mystical experiences, messages coming to me. And I designed a program on healing, and that's where my passion started. It started when I had my company already because I studied metaphysics while I had my company. And I became a doctor in metaphysics while I had my company. So I applied that in information or wisdom to my staff, to my business, and it changed everything for me. So it's not like I became that afterwards. I studied that after my husband passed away because I asked myself the question, who am I? I was lost. I got married very young, lost my identity, didn't know that until my husband passed away. And then I ended up with, where do I fit in? Who am I really? And that started me on a different journey. So during the dark night of my soul, I believe that actually served me very strongly to pull through it eventually. And the I Am Possible program I gave birth to it during that time. And it took literally all those years to develop this program. Every step that I had to take to heal myself and the areas in my life that I had to heal to get to where I am today is built into this program. And it's all encompassed. It's science, it's mindset, it's self-mastery, it's how the mind, body, and soul works. It is our thinking patterns, our DNA. There's so much in there, but I combine it in simple workshops that shifts people into the I am possible, because we're so used to compare ourselves to others. We've been programmed to compare ourselves to others, to think success looks like this when it's actually inside of you. We've been programmed through society, schooling, church, and everything else that always look on the outside for validation, while we're actually born with the most unique toolbox within us and a purpose within us, but we've never learned to connect to it. So now I've learned to connect to mine, and I know the difference it makes to me. And I know the people that I work with, the difference it makes to them. So I just feel like I want to run around and teach it to the whole world, because that will create a new world for us. If people go within and find themselves, connect the I am possible, and bring out your toolbox, and then add value to society. So that's me in a
Oh,
long story.
no. That's actually quite interesting, Madelaine, because first of all, um, wow, I tip my hat to you, for what you've gone through, for all your loss that you've endured, and even going into hiding after being hit by a syndicate. I mean, wow, that's not something that everybody will go through in their life. Actually, very little people will go through that in their life. So, Madeleine, first of all, thank you for sharing. I know that that's not easy to share, and it's amazing. I would love it if we can go a little bit further and you can actually tell us, because while I'm listening to you, I'm hearing this and I'm hearing from the dark night of my soul into I am possible. I mean, that's a transformation from night to day. So, Madeleine, I would love it if you can give us like more information on I am possible, because I love that. I love that whole phrase. I am possible. Please go ahead and share with us.
Thank you, David. I was thinking it's not possible. I was thinking I am not possible. I lost my identity through that crisis. I lost my confidence. I lost my wealth, my money security, and I'm on my own with my son. So, I didn't see a light shine for me. I didn't see my way out, to be quite honest. I often contemplated to end it because I just couldn't see the way forward. And I just have such a proud nature that I just couldn't go and ask for help, because I always thought, who would understand this crazy story, number one. And I just wobble. When I look back now, I allowed a traumatic experience to define me and to become my life. And that is what we tend to do when something happens to us. We
Yes,
tend to identify with that story. We tend to identify ourselves with our pain, and we focus on the pain, which becomes then more, because what you focus on gets bigger. You feed it and it gets bigger, you starve it and it gets smaller. And I knew all of that, but the pain was just, I was heartbroken, soul broken. Actually, I always said my soul scattered in pieces, and I actually had to go and find it again and mend it. So it was a very deep story for me, because I've always been a great believer. And that is what made me successful, I believe, is the hand that showed me the way and protected me. And when this last straw happened, I thought, God, where were you? What happened to you? You're
yes,
supposed to look
yes.
after me, and you didn't. So I was very, very cross with God. And I think that was more the deep, dark side of me than anything else, because I blamed it on him. Anyway, then one day I had this voice. I sat in the car not too long ago, and I said, I don't know how to get out of here. And I have a voice speaking to me since young childhood. And the voice said to me, well, you have a choice now. You can either turn left or you turn right. It's your choice. And I said, okay, show me. What did I do when I was so successful to make me so successful? Because I forgot, because I lost so much of my identity that I couldn't even remember what was my routine or what did I do. Anyway, and it was like a movie playing off in front of me, showing me my gratitude that I had, the way I dealt with people, the connection that I had with them, And I never distinguished between a tea lady or CEO or a director. They're all the same to me and treated everybody the same. And I believe it's part of my success, is my connection to people. They trust me, I'm transparent, I'm honest. And it showed me this movie, the before and after, and it said to me, okay, you have a choice today. You can either get back, or if you go this route, you're not going to make it. Because I was busy destroying myself. And I said, okay, I'll go back. And that was another long journey, not an overnight journey, because then I realized for the first time how much I fed my mind nonsense about myself. I felt such a failure. I kept on blaming myself. I kept on saying, but I could have, I should have. What if, and which made it worse. And I saw all these thoughts and words that I used to speak to myself. And I was actually shocked. But the shocker came when I wanted to start to override them. And that was not easy, because now I was conscious of who I am and what I say and what I do.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, then I realized how many times a day I say these negative things to myself. And I just couldn't believe it, and that is when this program is born and got a body around it. It's when I literally had to go through each and every step to get out of my darkness, to understand it, to feel it, and to understand what it does to your body. It affects your health, it affects your mind, it affects your outcomes, it affects your relationships, it affects your money. It affects every area of your life. I don't care if you're CEO, director, the most successful person in life on the outside. But if your inner architecture is not serving that vision, then you won't be able to sustain it. And that is the beauty of the I Am program, is I literally start with, what are your blocks? What's holding you back? How do you speak to yourself? Because those are normally coming from your childhood, when you were told you're not good enough, or you were ill-treated, or you witnessed domestic abuse, and it played a role in your mind about your relationships or who you are. And I have clients who suffer from anxiety, and the client went to 3-4 professional people, and somebody sent him to me. And I found that the trigger for his anxiety started before 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
Trying circumstances, really trying, and always wanted to do everything to get the approval of his father and the love of his father, which he never got. So he worked harder, he did more, and he never got. And I'm not talking work harder like schoolwork. He was really looking at 7 after his family already, due to circumstances. Yeah. And so the body got used to the amount of anxiety that he was under for so long. So all his body did is produce all that anxiety, thinking it's normal. And he just worked harder and harder and harder throughout his life. He never got the approval or the love of his father, I must say. His father died a couple of years ago, and he died. The son believed that he was not good enough. And when he started to work with me, I pinpointed, I'm quite intuitive because of what I've been through, and I understand our roots of our behavior. I can see the patterns in the roots. It's literally like you're looking at a tree, and the roots are in the ground. And we need to pull the contaminated roots and plant new little roots so that they can start to grow. So I looked at these roots and I started to share it with him. And we pinpointed the problem at between 7 and 10. And he found so much forgiveness in his heart that he actually went to his father's grave to forgive him.
Oh,
and
wow.
his anxiety is a lot better. It changes his behavior towards his staff, and he changed as a person. And he said, Madelaine, you're my lifelong guru. So I believe if I didn't go through these deep experiences, I wouldn't be able to help people at that deepest level. So if you're in business and you're a coach or you're an entrepreneur, your business is an extension of who you are.
Correct.
What goes on within you, pick up on that. So imagine if you override these negative thoughts and you really re-imprint your self-esteem, and you align your thoughts, your self-esteem, to step into your authentic voice and into the vision that you want to become. How successful are you going to be? It's just a natural flow. It's not something you need to work on then. It's who you are. And that is why I'm so passionate about I Am Possible. It really breaks through these mind blocks. It breaks through the habits that trips us up that we don't even know because we're in default. It allows you to step into your purpose, to identify that, and to really create a vision for your future where you honor your purpose. And then through that purpose, we start to redesign your self-esteem. So
Yes,
who
yes,
are you? What do you believe in? It's a whole new build up of who you are. Then we go into the heart and we do forgiveness to the situations that happened before that affected you. Because when you go into forgiveness, it's not, I look at the people and I talk about forgiveness. It's not just saying you forgive somebody.
yes.
It's a whole little process to go through to alchemize that pain into your gain. And the minute you can alchemize your pain into gain, your mind perceive no pain anymore in that situation, and it perceive wisdom and your gain. So you change the whole story in your mind, and that actually opens you up. So you become authentically you, and when you speak, you authentically who you are. Then you reconnect to your intuition, because I believe that's one gift that we're born with that very few people activate or use due to DNA of society, etc., that we grew up with, but it's a gift that's been given to us. And if I listened to my intuition at the time, I would have picked it up much quicker. And I knew the guy who planned this on me, I would never have mixed with him because my intuition warned me so strongly right from the beginning.
My
So
word.
that's why I'm passionate. I had to go through this in order to teach that to others.
That's magnificent, Madelaine. I can really see the worth in this because, like you say, this is not just something that you're teaching people because you want to teach them. This is something that you're teaching because you've gone through it. You needed to go through this in order for you to be strong enough to teach this to people. And it's amazing, forgiveness that you're talking about. We know by not forgiving people, we can actually become ill. We can lose our mind, basically. And, I'm sitting here and I'm like, who should I still forgive? Working through it. And you've touched points that's so, so, so awesome. Madelaine, it's truly, it's an honor to have you here. What I would like to do for you is, I would love it if you can share your contact details with the listeners and the viewers so that they can reach out to you, because I really think this is a starting point for anybody wanting to step into business, anybody stepping into entrepreneurship, anybody that wants to grow. You need to start by forgiving, and then from there on, believing in yourself. So, Madelaine, the floor is yours. You can share any contact details that you feel comfortable with. What we're going to do is, as soon as we finish with this, we're putting it down here in the comments and stuff for you, so you can go and follow. Listeners, viewers, go and make contact with Madelaine. You need to do this. This is one of the processes in life that you cannot skip. Madelaine, the floor is yours.
Thank you, David. I just want to mention that I do work with leaders as well, because leaders' self-actualization makes them a better leader. If you know
Absolutely.
who you can lead people to success. If you do not know who you are and you only operate from your intellect, you cannot lead people to success. And
Absolutely.
that is the same for coaches and entrepreneurs. So that's where my business knowledge comes in. I can help them with their businesses, but more so to align themselves with their business. So self-actualization is all about the I am possible. If you don't know who you are you introducing to your clients? If you're a coach, how can you assist others to step into their I am possible if you don't know who you are and you are battling with your own identity? And the same if you're divorced and you lose your identity. But leadership, I am passionate about, because leaders have the ability to either break or make people who report to them. And I've seen it in my lifetime. And I would rather uplift people that report to me and inspire them to become the better version of them, because their success will create a collective success in a company. So my details is, I'm going to give you my personal email address. It's Dr. Madelaine Gomes. It's DrMadieGomes@gmail.com. And my cell number, which I normally don't give, I will give it today, is 082 88 00 227. And my website is www.madelainegomes.international. Thank you,
Awesome.
David, for this opportunity.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thumbs up for you for that. Madelaine, also, like I said, we're going to put it in the comments for the people. They need to contact you because this is important. You just said something that is making perfect sense. If you want to be a leader, if you want to lead a team, if you're going to lead one person, if you're going to lead a household, if you're going to lead anything, you need to find out who you are. And this is the perfect place to do it because I Am Possible is going to show you what you need to do in order to go forward. Madelaine, this has been absolutely amazing, mind blowing. I'm sitting here thinking, oh heavens, I've got so much to do. I'll be in contact with you and I will go through sessions with you because I know this is something that's important. So I want to thank you for being with us. We can just all say thank you for that. It's been amazing. Thank you for opening your heart to us. Thank you for sharing your story with us. I know it's not always easy. So we just want to wish you well, and we're going to keep an eye on you. And listeners, viewers, you want to watch out for the December issue of Entrepreneurs Life magazine. Madelaine is going to be featured in the magazine. And in this, we're going to share more details about her journey. We're going to share her contact details again. We're going to be there and we're going to tell her story because this is a story worth telling. Madelaine, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, David. I really appreciate it.
The pleasure is all ours. And listeners, viewers, tomorrow we're going to be back with another amazing story. Do not miss out on this. Thank you so much.